People have been asking for a guide on how to use VanillaTweaks, SuperWoW, and VanillaFixes all at the same time on the WoW Hardcore private server, and this is the guide for you. The first step is to go to WoW.exe.com and download the 1.12 client. I have already done this and have the 1.12 client downloaded here, 1.12 vanilla zip, and will unzip it. It will take a little while for it to unzip. It's shown here. And there we go. Vanilla WoW added on our disk. And it's already set to WoW.exe. For this test specifically, I will use the PTR key as it is a bit easier to log in and test. So first we'll just open like the README says. It says to open WoW tweaked instead of the normal WoW.exe. So we will do just that. Open the WoW tweaked, log in and see that everything works. Have it. And we are in the game in a little bit. Right, we're in the game and we have launched successfully. Let's quit out again. So the version of WoW Tweak that launches with vanilla with the default client is a bit outdated. So the first thing we're going to do is delete these two files, WoW Tweak.exe and Vanilla Tweak.exe. So get rid of them, and we will move this window over here so that we have multiple windows open and open another window. So the first thing we're going to do is download the newest version of WoW Tweaked. Vanilla Tweaks. So here at this URL, it is in the description, the first link for the Vanilla Tweaks. For me, I'm on Windows, so I download the Windows GNU zip. Back to the folders. I have here my downloaded Vanilla Tweaks 1.6, which is, as we can see, the newest version 1.6. So I open that and I pull the vanilla tweaks into my folder as before. Now in order to make the WoW tweak, I pull the WoW.exe shortcut on top of the vanilla tweak shortcut, and it creates the newest version of vanilla tweaks. So we're basically back to square one. We'll just try it again. Log in. And in order to validate that vanilla tweaks is actually added, we can kill them up and see auto works. Vanilla tweaks auto works by default. I'll just turn the games down a bit, it's quite high. No. Auto loot works by default. So kill them up. You can just right click if it would drop anything. That is. Yeah, as you can see, auto loot worked. I didn't hold down shift and it worked out of the box. Great. Now let's move on to adding SuperWoW. In order to add SuperWoW to the game, we go to this URL, also in the description, superwow/releases. Check the newest release as of time of writing, 1.5.1. I have again downloaded SuperWoW 1.5.1 here on prehand. In here there are two files, there are the DLL and the launcher. We just pull both of these into the game. Now we can use the launcher to start WoW with SuperWoW. There we go. We are now in the game with SuperWoW running. Now I should mention that when SuperWoW is added, Vanilla Tweaks is now no longer added. So right now we are only using SuperWoW. And I believe SuperWoW also adds auto loot, but I am not entirely sure, so let's get them up to drop anything. Now it doesn't drop it doesn't auto loot, so I have to click myself. So right now SuperWoW is added, but Vanilla Tweaks is not. In order to get both of them added at the same time, we need a third piece of the puzzle. Before we go to that, SuperWoW also have an add-on, so we can download this here from, this has a different URL, SuperWoW API, and this is just a add-on like everything, like any other add-on. I have it here, SuperWoW API master, and if you go into the interface add-on folder, throw it in there, rename the folder to just be SuperWoW API. We can again try to launch SuperWoW, this time with the API to control the settings. So we can see the SuperWoW API is added in. Okay, now we have this little book here, which shows us different options. So with the API, you can change it so that auto loot, for instance, you can toggle if it should be on or off. So if you want it to be like you always want to auto loot, you set it to always on. And we can test it again, killing them up, that drops anything. There There we go. It auto-looted. And if I right-click this and says Shift to toggle on, so that you have to hold down Shift to auto-loot. Press with another mob, right-click it, and now I have to manually loot the mob because I didn't hold down Shift. So now we have the SuperWoW API added in as well, where we have different options like click through corpses so you can loot mobs that are on top of each other. You can change how the field of view, change if the sound should work in the background. If I click out of the window here, the game sound stops. But if I click background sound, click out of the window, the game music continues. And there's also uncapped sounds that allows you to have all the sounds playing in case you're in a raid where multiple people are using abilities. Sometimes your own sounds will disappear because there's a hierarchy tier system to which sounds get played. This one will make everything play. Yeah. So that was SuperWoW. So we now want to have everything running at the same time. In order to do that, we need the third piece of the puzzle, that is VanillaFixes. It is as this URL, VanillaFixes releases, the newest version, 5.2.0. There are two different versions of this. There is this DX via key version, which is the recommended for the best performance. I personally has had trouble with it, so I just used this one up here, the standard version. This is the one I have working on my machine. Again, I'll go in here. I have the VanillaFixes this time, 1.5.2. In VanillaFixes, I have the files here. I take these two files, the fixes.exe and the vf-patch.dll, and the dll.txt, copy all of them into my WoW folder. The first thing I do is I go into the dll.txt. This is a text file that tells you what DLLs should I load. And here it says it should try to load the the DLL called NamPower DLL. I don't have that DLL added in, so I will remove this. I don't need it. It says here if you have SuperWoW, it will be loaded with this line. I do have SuperWoW, so I want that, and I have it here. SuperWoW hook.dll is the name here. SuperWoW hook.dll, and finally it has this other modification that's called Vanilla Multiple Monitors. I don't have that, so I will comment that out. Save the file. Close it. Now, for actually running VanillaFixes, you have now this VF patch DLL, and you have the VanillaFixes.exe. In order to run VanillaFixes, you have to create a shortcut to this. So you create a shortcut. Let me just find it. Send to desktop shortcut. There we go. So on my desktop now, I have a shortcut here called VanillaFixes. I'll just pull it in here. There we go. And back to speedy stuff where we were before. This shortcut you have to edit. So you have to right click and hit properties in the bottom. And for this top here, the path, you have to add in this. Let me just check what it actually is it has to say. So I have my own shortcut that I use here. Yeah, it should add in the exe file it should actually run. So normally you would add WoW.exe, but because we want it to run WoW tweaked and have all the tweaks, we will say WoW underscore tweaked.exe. So it'll have the path to VanillaFixes and WoW tweaked.exe extending the path. Click save, close. And now when I run this, it will ask me, VanillaFixes is trying to load SuperWoW. Are you okay with that? and yes, I wanted to load SuperWoW. So now VanillaFixes is loading SuperWoW first and then opening WoW Tweaked afterwards. So let's see how this works out. Okay, we're now in the game. We have WoW Tweaks running. You can validate WoW Tweaks by checking the nameplates. WoW Tweaks has very long range nameplates, so normally the nameplates will be 20 yards, which will be about here. My charge is 25 yards, so here I can still see the nameplates. If I go further away, I can still see it. So nameplates is all the way up to 42 yards, which is very useful for hunters. SuperWoW is still added. I still have the add-on running. I still have the tooltip stuff. So I will try to, now the autoloot is set to toggle on. I will try to see if by default the autoloot is on. It is, so another proof that Tweaks is still running. And if we click to take the background sound, that also works. So yeah, that is the final guide on how to get everything working. So first it was drag the WoW.exe on top of VanillaTweaks.exe, vanilla-tweaks.exe to get the _tweak.exe. Then we added in SuperWoW. We added in the launcher. We actually don't need this launcher anymore, but I'm just leaving it here. And finally, we added in VanillaFixes. We updated the DLL.txt, commented out the DLLs we don't need, left in the DLLs we do need. And in the end, we created a shortcut for VanillaFixes.exe. And in that shortcut, we added the executable file it should open, in this case, wow_tweaked.exe. So now we have everything running together, and you're ready to go. That is it. I hope you get it working on your machine and have fun playing WoW.